Hey guys, so the Supreme Court has now allowed the Trump administration to revoke TPS for Cubans, Venezuela, people from Nicaragua, and people from Haiti. So that means that people who were protected under TPS, which is temporary protective status, are now at risk of possible deportation. That means that the work permit that they have, they will now lose it officially, and they will no longer be legally able to work in the United States. When your TPS is officially gone, you immediately become deportable. That means once you lose your employment authorization status, that means that employers will have to terminate those individuals who once had the work authorization to work under TPS. This will cause worldwide hardship, economic hardship, and will definitely bring the unemployment increase percentage up due to the fact that most individuals working under TPS will no longer have those occupations, no longer. Many people under TPS, under the temporary protected status, have U.S. citizen children. So now you're dealing with a situation where family will be dealing with separation, with the possibility of parents going and being ordered deported back to their original country. There are some other legal options that can probably assist with individuals who have TPS. If you have a U.S. citizen spouse, if you have a eligible asylum and withholding application that could probably go through the courts and be granted. And if you at least lived in the United States for at least 10 years, don't have a criminal record, you can probably qualify for cancellation of removal. If you are married to a U.S. citizen spouse, have U.S. citizen children, those are some elements. And then you can also prove hardship, extreme hardship pertaining to those elements.
Thousands of Cubans, Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, and Haitians in the US just got some devastating news. Humanitarian Parole, the one thing keeping them safe from deportation, has been officially revoked. And just like that, their future is hanging by a thread. Hey everyone, welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide, where we break down the biggest stories shaking up lives around the globe. I'm your host, Amy, and today this one hits hard. Because we are not just talking about policies, we are talking about people, families, workers, neighbors. Now, let's back up a bit. In 2022, President Biden launched the Humanitarian Parole program for people fleeing crisis in countries like Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, and Nicaragua. The idea: give them a shot at safety and stability with temporary legal status and work permits. And over 500,000 migrants got in under this policy. But fast forward to May 30th, 2025, under President Trump's second term, the Supreme Court gave the green light for his administration to kill the program just like that. Gone, vanished, you can imagine. So before we dive deep into this conversation, let's take a look at how people are reacting. Then I'll be back and we can talk about it in full.
Where are my Miami Cubans at? Stand up for what you supported in 2024. Stand up for what you supported. Oh, you thought he wasn't talking about you, right? He wasn't talking about you. He was talking about the illegals. Even though we tried to tell you, if your skin color was brown and you talk Spanish, he wants you out of the country. You thought, oh, he's not talking about me. We tried to warn you. The mass deportations in U.S. history affect communities of color indiscriminately. How do they know if you're undocumented or not? They're going to harass you. So even revoking legal status for 500,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, how are they going to find out which ones just lost their legal status? Where are they going to find them? They're going to be searching these neighborhoods, as they have been already. You know, when I moved from Michigan to Florida, I was young, naive. I didn't know what had happened in 2000, but I was shocked when I learned that Cubans in Miami were Republicans, because coming from Michigan, I knew who the Republicans were, and they couldn't stand the Cubans. And it's like, you're voting for people who can't stand you. They tolerate you because you stay in Miami and you're not venturing out to Iowa. You're not venturing out into the Midwest to realize that the people you're supporting want you out of their country. FAFO.
He's not just deporting illegal immigrants, he's going after people who went through the process the right way and are here legally. This administration just stripped the legal status of 500,000 plus migrants from Nicaragua, Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, all people who are living and working here in the United States legally. They paid their own money to get here, went through our temporary protected status program, seeking refuge from their country because it's at war or there's natural disasters or other dangerous circumstances that drove them to seek refuge in our country. And the Trump administration said, your place in the process be damned. We're stripping your legal status and now you can legally be hunted down and deported. And migrants contribute billions to the economy, billions to the workforce. They enrich the culture and the diversity of the country. Who wants to live in a country where everybody looks the same, acts the same food palettes, same religions? That sounds like a nightmare to me. And this is all taking place while he fast-tracks the citizenship applications for white South Africans. Literally deporting all the black and brown immigrants and only allowing in white South Africans. We all need to be paying attention to what's happening right now because there's a lot of similarities between us and Nazi Germany.
I just heard the news about the humanitarian protection being canceled. I hate that for the Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and the Haitians. I love y'all. I'm from Fort Pierce. I love y'all to pieces. And I rock with y'all. Baby, whatever you need me to do, you let me know what I can do to help. But them Cubans from Miami, y'all can get the out of here. You ain't never heard me talk about going to Miami to visit. All my family from that area is gone from Miami. The only time I go down there is to shop and to eat. I don't fuck around with Miami Cubans. They turn Florida red. They racist. And I tell every group of young kids, do not go down there supporting their business because they don't fuck around with y'all. They don't like us.
So all the Cubans for Trump down in Florida and everywhere else. Trump just had the Supreme Court revoke your immunity. Thousands of you will now be deported, along with several other countries' immigrants. But Trump has literally, first on the list, Cubans. Cubans will be deported because he's taking away your protections that you had because you came from a terrible situation to come live here in the United States where it's wonderful, but you couldn't get away from your communist habits and everything. So you came over here to bring those communist habits and follow the orange crap stain. Yeah, he took them all away, babe.
They applied, they were vetted, they were approved, they did everything right. And now they're getting kicked out. Why? Because McDonald Trump wants to undo anything connected to Biden, even if it means upending lives, ripping families apart, and sending people back to dangerous conditions. It's disgusting. This program let people live here and work for like 2 years legally. They have jobs, they got kids in school, they're paying taxes, but now the message is, doesn't matter. New administration, new rules. Out you go. And what really gets me is the cruelty of it all. This isn't about safety or security. This is about political points. This is about showing off to the base like, look what we can do with immigrants when we're in charge.
Now, this is a lot, but it's the reality. People are scared, people are devastated, and honestly, people are also waking up. Because let's not ignore the elephant in the room. A lot of the same communities now facing deportation actually voted for Trump. Yep, they backed the very person who promised to be tough on immigration. And now, he's delivering, but not in the way they expected. This is what happens when people vote based on fear or promises of the American dream that don't include everyone. And actually, Trump made it clear from the start what he stood for. He never hid it. And now it's like, you voted for this and this is what you get. You might say it's betrayal, but I think he was blatantly open on what he was going to do and he delivered it well. And you see, these folks supported him thinking he was on their side, but now they're being tossed out like they were never wanted to begin with. It's definitely that harsh reality. You F around and now you're finding out the hard way. And while I feel for the families and kids caught up in this, it's a reminder that political choices have real consequences, especially for vulnerable communities. So guys, what do you think? Was ending the humanitarian parole program the right move, or is this just another cruel twist in a long line of betrayals? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from all sides. And if you enjoyed this, kindly give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this trending topic. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.